Oh, I'm out political canvassing, right?
Okay.
I'm over here looking for my next house.
Okay.
And these two dudes come up with their dog and tell me, what's in your backpack?
Okay.
And I said, what do you mean what's in my backpack?
Okay.
Well, I thought I was getting robbed, dude.
I understand. I'm just saying.
And then
not robbing you. How you doing?
Not bad.
You're right.
Are you his boss? Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the only concern is, man, look, some people just called in, right? They said that you were going up door to door, like checking door handles and stuff, okay?
Well, I'm not checking. I am going door to door.
We are.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are more than welcome to politically canvass in the area. That's absolutely something you're allowed to do, okay? Some of those people just called in, right, because they're concerned, because they thought you were like jingling door handles, and they're worried and they're concerned because there's been some break-ins in the area recently.
They need to not come up and demand I open anything. Come up with two dogs threatening me. Like, that is not okay, dude.
That's not okay. That's definitely not okay. And I think I can understand both sides of what's happening here.
I can understand them too, but when I told them I'm politically canvassing,
they're not you guys. You know what I mean? They're not the cops.
So here's the deal, okay? So you got to remember, right? You're not in any kind of attire showing that you're politically canvassing, or you're in a video game T-shirt, some headphones, some sunglasses, and a backpack and ball shorts, right? So
that's not illegal.
No, it's not. I'm just explaining to you, right? People might perceive.
All right, guys, buckle up, because today's video exposes the raw, unfiltered corruption that has infected modern policing. From the very first moment, watch how these officers storm toward a completely innocent man, demanding ID like they own every inch of the sidewalk. They twist laws, invent fake crimes, and use intimidation as their favorite weapon. And the worst part? They threaten him with arrest the second he tries to invoke his basic rights. This isn't just misconduct. This is a calculated attack on civil liberties. So pay attention, stay sharp, and comment below what you think should happen to cops who abuse their power like this. Before we dive deeper, hit that like button so this message reaches everyone who needs to hear it.
What you're doing, right, is illegal, like hawk prowling, right? That is a law, and it is a violation. You can't go on people's properties. Anytime you pass a public sidewalk and it's somebody's private property, that is trespassing, right? That's people's concern right now.
If I were to remain,
our job is to figure out what's going on, right? All we need to know is your name, what you're putting. If you have anything to say, hey, I'm politically canvassing, cool. That way we can go back to them and tell them the gentleman's just politically canvassing. He showed us. We have sufficient, information to say, you know what, that's all he's doing. But in the interest of justice and for public, right, that's their request, and that's why we're doing our due diligence.
Well, okay. I mean, respectfully, I know my rights. I will read. They can request all they want, but to alleviate their concern, my name is Ron, and I work for. Okay. Am I being detained?
Right now, yes, for trespassing, because you were on people's properties. So if you want to go down that road, we just need your name, date of birth, and we'll check you, make sure you're not a wanted person, and be done and over with.
I'm so sorry. Where was he at? Where he was trespassing? I'm so sorry.
He was at people's doors that he was knocking. That's when you cross somebody's threshold to their property line, right? That is trespassing. When you're not on a public
enter or remain unlawfully. Yes. I never entered or remained unlawfully.
Hold on, Ron. Calm down.
Yeah.
Sir.
Now listen up. The man calmly explains he's out doing political canvassing, literally exercising his First Amendment rights. But instead of respecting that, these officers act like they're confronting a criminal mastermind. They show up with dogs, demanding to know what's in his backpack, like he's some threat to national security. The man even thought he was being robbed at first. That's how aggressive their approach was. The cops claim people thought he was checking door handles, yet offers zero proof. This is how quickly a harmless citizen becomes a target when fear replaces facts. Their job should be to protect, not to bully someone doing completely lawful activity.
I'm just trying to understand. Sure. We're going to knock on people's doors.
No, I understand that. Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. So we're not allowed to knock.
First Amendment right.
Ron, calm down.
I'm sorry.
We're not allowed to walk onto someone's door and knock on your door.
Correct, because it's their private property. So if so anything, so like right now we're on a public sidewalk. Where he's standing is technically private property. Somebody maintains that lawn, somebody cares for that lawn. This building probably, chances are, is who owns that, right? However, most people aren't going to call in and say, hey, you're trespassing, right? But because of the nature and how everything went down, right, and their confrontation, their disturbance, whatever it is that they got into, I wasn't there, right? You know I wasn't there. It was you and them, right?
Well, how are you going to convince a jury?
Right? So the allegation right now, right, is that. Right? Very simple. All we do is verify who you are, ensure that all you're doing is canvassing.
I have a Fourth Amendment protection.
Right? Okay, if you'd like to go down that road, we can go down and we'll take you to jail for trespassing, if that's the road you want to go down. I'm trying to prevent that, alleviate all that, by just verifying who you are. Very simple.
I committed no crime.
When you're trespassing, that is a crime.
No, if anybody ever told me to leave their property, I left, and that wasn't today.
Okay, it doesn't matter. You still can't just trespass on people.
The officer keeps rambling about hot prowling, pretending that walking up to a door is some sort of felony. He nitpicks the man's clothing, accusing him of looking suspicious because he's wearing a t-shirt, sunglasses, and a backpack. Seriously? Since when does not wearing a suit make you a criminal? They twist trespassing laws, claiming the grass itself is private property, as if walking on it instantly makes you a lawbreaker. The man stays calm while the cop piles on these imaginary violations. This is textbook manipulation. Overwhelm the citizen with nonsense until they're scared enough to obey. But not today. This guy stands firm.
Property, it's private property. If you don't own it, it's owned by somebody else. Right? Like the grass you're standing on, if somebody called and said, hey, that guy's trespassing, I want to trespass,
so
I have
then
to identify you and issue you a warning, and then
a picture is sufficient.
Okay? What was that?
A picture is sufficient for a warning. You can take my picture and say you did.
That's not sufficient. We need a name and date of birth because we have to issue you a formal trespass warning.
So under threat of arrest, if I do not give you my name,
threat, okay.
So if I do not give you my name, will you?
Because now you're.
But you will arrest me.
You're trespassing, and you don't give us your information. Now it's obstruction.
If I do not give you my name, you'll arrest me.
Listen, we don't want to go down that road.
I know, but I'm just asking you.
I am being as reasonable with you as I can be, okay?
And I want to comply.
Listen, okay?
I want to comply, but
private property, okay? The city of Billings, right, requires we identify the person to issue them a warning, saying, "Hey, sir, you've been warned. Please do not trespass."
And the Supreme Court has ruled that a picture is sufficient.
Ryan, I need you to hold on for a second. This is my program organizer.
Okay,
would you mind just talking to her for a second?
No problem.
I want legal representation.
Hello, this is Officer Diaz. Who am I speaking with? Good. I'm doing well. We're just out here because there was reports of some kind of hot prowling going on where, what's her name?
But they're
All right, guys, now watch closely. The officer demands his name and date of birth, pretending it's the only way to clear things up. He tries guilt-tripping him, claiming he must identify to help the community and ensure public safety. Then suddenly, he threatens jail time for trespassing, even though no homeowner ever told the man to leave. That alone proves the officer is bluffing and fishing for compliance. The man reminds him of the Fourth Amendment, and instantly the cop shifts tone, saying refusal becomes obstruction. This is how police create crimes out of thin air. Refuse their unlawful order, and they add more charges. But the man refuses to fold.
false reports.
My name is.
Thank you.
We work
What's
for Ron. He works with me.
Ryan. So I guess Brian?
Ron.
I guess Ron was doing some political canvassing.
Yes, that's what we did.
And they were knocking on doors and so forth, which they're allowed to do, right? However,
crime.
When you trespass on somebody's private property, it's trespassing. So most people aren't going to call in that you came to solicit and do all that stuff, right? At the end of the day, like I explained all that, that's all we're trying to do.
I'm going to give up my rights. He just said I haven't committed any crime. I have no obligation to identify.
Real quick,
That's what he said.
It's Ron, right?
But if he's going to threaten me with arrest, then I will sue them for a violation.
So,
standing
really quickly,
is
Ron.
like
Let me just clear this up really quickly, okay?
Somebody maintains the grass.
Billings City Code has a thing just called prowling.
That's fine. I just need to know if I do not give my name, will you arrest me?
If Ron is
Okay, thank you.
No.
I don't know
Okay.
what company you work for.
Am I free to go now?
Not want to continue.
Not right now, right? Just Billings City
So
Code.
what reasonable articulable suspicion do you have that trespassing is when you enter and remain name unlawfully. Nothing about me knocking on their door was unlawful.
I appreciate you explaining the trespass to me, okay? That's really helpful. Thank you. Okay?
Like I said, most
I'm talking about the situation in Billings City Code, okay? That has to do with prowling. You kind of already explained to me why you're here.
The tension spikes when the man asks the key question, "If I don't give my name, will you arrest me?" The officers stumble, dodge the question, then quietly admit they don't actually know. One even tries to call his supervisor to figure out what law they're supposedly enforcing. That alone shows they were never confident. They were hoping he wouldn't stand up for himself. When his program organizer arrives, everything shifts. Suddenly, the officers soften up, claiming they're just trying to sort things out. They know they're in the wrong. They know they pushed too far. And now they're scrambling to escape the mess they created.
And I have my boss, so there we go, political canvassing. This is my First Amendment right. I am exercising my First Amendment right.
So like as part of like that Billings City Code requiring
because of that,
we just need to identify.
Can you get me that Billings City Code?
Would you like me to show it to you?
Yeah.
I don't want a person identify him, be done with it, and send him on his way.
You can even read it if you would like.
Being difficult and not wanting to give his name. So that's kind of where we're at.
Oh, I'm a law-abiding individual practicing my First Amendment right, though.
Absolutely. Right,
So,
part of the
absolutely.
People came and they described it, right? They described it as you were coming in and you were like making.
But that's why you do due diligence and you come and get the second side of the story and you find out that my boss is here and I'm exercising my First Amendment right. So now, so what crime have I committed?
Because I'm trying to complete and make sure, right? Like obviously, yeah.
What does my name have to do with any of that?
Right? For us to be able to
and that's what we want to leave it as, very simple.
And confirm,
just be like, hey,
right, that you are here and what you're doing is politically.
I just told you, do you have any reason to believe that is not why I am here? Other than what those people, exactly. If you don't know, how are you going to convince a jury?
Because here's the thing, man, is we don't necessarily know for sure.
Ron, we are not trying to antagonize.
At this point, the officers try to save face, talking about miscommunication and concerned citizens. But the truth is painfully clear. They made up laws to pressure a lawful canvasser into surrendering his identity. They even accuse him of being less than forthcoming, when in reality, he's the only one telling the truth. The man repeatedly proves he is legally protected by the First Amendment, yet the officers pretend they need his name for a warning. Warning for what? Exercising constitutional rights? Finally, realizing they have no case and no legal ground to stand on, they decide to give up and walk away.
That's it. They're trying to do their jobs. Someone call the police. Like if you were to call the police in your area and tell them it's the same thing, they're going to come and check it out. That what they said to you was not okay, but trying to figure out the situation. We've got to try to stay calm for them. They're trying to not arrest you. They're trying to get to the bottom of who we are so that they can just.
I believe in my rights. That's why I'm out politically canvassing, exercising my First Amendment right. And I've just asked, am I going to be arrested if I do not give my name? He said no. What's your answer?
Okay, so
since you know that I'm politically canvassing and not doing that code.
Here's the deal, okay? Since you're being less than forthcoming and there's bigger problems that are plaguing our city in the interest of justice and the safety of the community, we're not going to waste our time with you anymore, okay?
I want to go home.
But
Thank you.
The reality is, okay?
Thank you.
Had we had more time and all this stuff, we'd be having.
Now, after watching this entire encounter, ask yourself, how many innocent citizens have been harassed, intimidated, or unlawfully detained by these same tactics? How many people didn't know their rights and ended up arrested for doing absolutely nothing wrong? This is why knowing your rights is not optional. It's essential. Corrupt officers rely on confusion, fear, and silence. Break that silence. Stand firm. Record everything. Share videos like this so others learn what real police misconduct looks like. Support the channel by liking, subscribing, and dropping a comment below. And remember, always record the police. Your rights are your armor.